Hoister Up crew, we have another project. Today, well, for the next couple weeks, we're going to be replacing our cutlass bearing and our rag seal in the boat. Okay, so we're in the boat. So you're probably not going to have as much room as I have. And it's pretty clean back here. Basically, we gotta take off our seal. We'll replace that. And then we gotta take off our collar up here. That don't look too bad. Get some safety wire. That was a good idea. Now these rag joints, they don't last forever. No, I imagine they stay on here way longer than they should. Now we're gonna, at some point, replace these blocks for the fresh intake. They put wood under here, which I don't like, and they get rotten, so to me that doesn't sound like a good idea. Gold seal, all stainless. That's good to know. How it should be. Always something. Oh yeah, she's pretty worn out. Good idea to change it out. It's always good to get new safety wire too when you do these. Should have some on the boat anyways. Inches. It looks like these are going to be 7/16 hex. Nope, 3/8. Well, that wasn't too tight. Got one screw left in there. Now you should get new set screws so they seat properly. Next step, I think, is to loosen this collar up. Take the rag joint out. It's a nice little tool for taking off hoses. You can get them in there and start to break the seal away. Like so. Work it around. Oh yeah, you can see it's cracking here. Slipping now. Probably need to bring two big wrenches, one for each half. That broke loose. Oh, it's not even big enough. 12-inch cobalt crescent wrench isn't big enough. Okay, back. Got this really old crescent wrench tool I got from my dad. No name. Very nice. Crescent wrench wise, go from 12-inch to 24-inch. And pair of adjustable pliers. That might do. I'm gonna try the adjustable pliers first just because it's, even with everything out of here, it's still not the most comfortable. Well, alright, let's try to fit this big guy in. It's so big we probably don't even have to hold it. So much leverage on it and weight. Probably the tightest thing on here. So here's the packing up in the nut up here. So that's pretty dried out. 1, 2, 3. Looks like 3 packings. Oh. Let's give you a close-up of what's all going on here. Here's the boot. There was the bottom. Yeah, it was done for. And that bottom just slides on the shaft here. Here's our set for the packing. Your packing nut. And then 2 bolts for that. What might come out of here. We might go underneath, see what it does. We're back outside. We have our set screws loose. We have our packing loose. Do I have to do more, or is this shaft going to come out? Might need to do more up there. Might have to disconnect the whole coupler, not just the set screws. Well, that didn't work, so we'll have to get back into the boat, probably take off that coupler, see what's binding it. It might be keyed, just might be stuck with years of corrosion. It'll be easier to take it apart and kind of tap it up there than trying to tap it back here to get it out. That'll be another day. Got the coupler unbolted. I was hoping to knock out the flange. Could not get the flange out. We're going to make a plate, a pusher. Basically, we'll drill 4 holes into this plate, through holes, and attach it to the flange, and then we'll drill a hole and tap the center hole, and run a bolt through and push against the shaft, and separate the shaft and collar. And mark out all the screw holes. Another punch. Stake it with our auto punch. Come back through. We're going to stake it a regular punch and get the holes for a better start. Get the drill press out. You always put your key back so you don't lose it.
Alright crew, sorry for the rain, but it's coming down pretty hard. We got our plate done. We got some oversized holes to meet up with the flange. So if we're a little off, it's still going to work. We'll just put some washers. Got our 1/2 inch tap through there. Should be enough threads to press that off. It's a pretty thick piece, so we should get it off. Here's our plate. 3/8 bolts in the corners, 1/2 inch in the middle. That'll probably just be our little spacer in case we need a little bit more travel from the center bolt. Hopefully these bolts go through the coupler. I think they should. If not, we'll have to try to scrounge out some 5/16 bolts. Let's take it down there and see what happens. Okay, it looks like the bolts fit. Let's move this camera over here. Oh, it's so cramped down here. Now I drilled these 1/2 inch because I wasn't 100% precise on my marking, so hopefully I got enough clearance here. It's probably enough to take it off with. Grab the almighty crescent wrench. Nice having the plate square, and then I can brace it to the floor. Coming off easy now. Couldn't hammer it off, but it's not taking much to press it off. Show you the plate. This plate moving out. Right out of threads. Only a longer bolt. Unfortunately, probably need a good inch longer bolt for the press. Let's see what I can dig up. All that work, trying to find a longer bolt, and I just gave it a good tug from the outside, and the collar popped off. Yay. So let's see what we got up here. Here's our collar. I'll have to clean that up. It's heavy. Our stuffing box. Old hose. Our stuffing box. Now we do plan to go to a dripless. There's the hose. Pretty old to be deformed like that. Here's the stuffing box. Oh. Here's our shaft. See, there's a bunch of gunk on it. And our keyway. Looks like the key is just a square key. there's the shafts out. Okay, let's do a close in depth of what we have here. This is the flange. This attaches to the drive shaft, and then these 4 bolts will attach to the transmission. It is keyed. The shaft does have some pretty deep grooves where the 2 set screws will fit into. Turn it the right way. Next, we have our stuffing box cap. This is a hollow cap with the lip on the backside. I thought there was another one in here, but there was not. Kind of looked like one just because of that coloring. So there's only 4 of these rings, and these rings have a slit, and they get compressed in there. They compress, they squeeze in, but we have to have a little bit of gap because it needs to drip. Hence the name. You'll tighten this till you get just a very slow drip while the motor's running, and no drip when it's not moving. This is our lock ring. Obviously, this isn't going to be tight, so we need to tighten this against our cap so it doesn't rattle loose. And here the shaft goes through here. You can see it's a little beveled right there for the seals. And we have a hose clamp on this side, a single barb fitting that attaches into our hose. Now, you need to inspect these components and these parts often because there's a big hole in the boat if this was to leak. Either here, through the seal, or if you have a really old boot, you haven't looked at this ever. It should really only be used for 5 years. I think PSS, even their Dripless Pro with a silicone boot, they're saying 7 years. Now you can see the outer casing's deforming, it's bulging. That could possibly start causing a leak. Don't let this sink your boat. Go back crew. Waiting on that epoxy to dry. But there's always more boat work to do. So we're going to put a dripless motor shaft seal in.
PYI.
PYI is the brand. So we gotta get on.
PSS Pro Shaft Seal.
PSS Pro Shaft Seal.
Packless Seal System.
Got the cap on the other side from me. We put a little soapy water here just to help slide this sleeve on. Sorry about the shaking camera. It's not ideal conditions. We will need to go down and push it through. There's our vent tube. Stainless steel collar will go here. So let's get the shaft pushed through and get on to the next step. Okay. That's good for now. We just have to get out there and push the shaft through. That means me. Okay, now we got the shaft slid up. We will now grab our stainless steel rotor. This is to be kept perfectly clean. No grease should be used. Soapy water to help ease it on. Make sure there's no sharp spots, which we already polished the shaft. Some soapy water. And since we bought the Pro Seal, we get an extra shaft collar that will go on. We're just going to loosely clamp this. This is just added protection to keep the rotor from sliding out. They give you Loctite. They want you to double set screw, put in 2 sets of set screws on top of each other, just to be sure this does not come apart. We have our cleaned coupler. Alright, push the shaft forward more. Alright, stop. More. Keep going. Alright, stop. Alright, hold it. Alright, pull it back. Put forward. Stop. Back a smidge. Alright. Just a little bit more. Stop. Forward. Keep going. All right. Rotate. Stop. 2 set screws. There's already pre-drilled holes in the shaft. Rotate. Stop. Push. Back it up. Push. Push. Alright, come back up. Alright, is it just snug? Not even snug. Just thread it up there. Okay, should we get the washer in? Yeah. We're putting in the nuts for the coupler, bolts. So we have the bolt that goes through, and then there's a nut on the washer. Pretty tight fit. So hopefully you don't have to do this during the high seas. This is hard to get everything in place. Let's give them a little bit snug on, nothing super tight. Okay, everything attached, got a coupler attached, 2 set screws. They're not super tight, but snug. Cruise clamps on. Next step, we will slide the collar down so it barely touches. We'll make a line, and then we'll put some preload of 3/4 of an inch, then tighten it down. The reason why we went with this system is so that it is a dripless. So we don't get water to collect back here, which would normally happen with the old style system. It would have to leak to keep the wax cool for the packing. It's not a lot of water, but we're trying to make this as dry as possible. A couple of forums, people say they really like this seal, so that's what we're going to go with. Put this in the neutral position. You put those together so they touch. Get our set screw started. There's a set on top of these. You're supposed to double stack these for security. Oh, what's it say? That's what it said. The set screws are dished with a kind of a sharp brim. So when you tighten them, they crush into the shaft to really lock it. If you set them and then take them out, you need to replace them. Per the manual, Loctite will go on to the second set, or the one stacked on top. We're in the neutral position, marking the shaft. He still has to crush the bellows in order to create enough friction for the ceramic seal. Ceramic seals are also used in many household.
This is a carbon.
Oh, carbon.
They do make a ceramic if you don't want a magnetic. We don't care. We're not.
These types of seals are used in your house. Many faucets use them now. Washing machines tend to use them. Basically, you have two of these smooth surfaces sliding against each other. In order for there to be proper tension, you have to...
We're about 3.5, then we need to move this down to 4.25.
We need to crush it in order to put enough pressure onto the ceramic disc.
Alright, hold the thing up there.
What thing?
Tape measure.
Where'd you measure from?
The flange. Hold that. Lock it.
With a locked.
Alright, put that away. We need help.
What do you want me to do?
Squeeze it.
Alright, crew, we got it all installed. The extra collar there. The set screws are in. 2 hose clamps. 1 item down. Hundreds more to go.